Hello everyone, welcome to Madrid Pulse. You got source of latest news, events, and everything happens in heart of Spain. Real Madrid misses out on a top signing option, and it could be a shocking catastrophe. The white team plans to have several of the most interesting players in the soccer world for the next season. Therefore, there are players who are closer than others to becoming reinforcements for Real Madrid. But before continue, make sure you have already subscribed for getting more Real Madrid updates. Let's dive in. However, there would be one specific player who might be gradually distancing himself from the merengue team. We are referring to the young promise of the Bournemouth team, Huijsen. This player has been resonating in the Madrid circle and could become the most desired signing for the defense. However, due to the little activity from the white team, they would now be issuing an ultimatum for his signing. Meanwhile, the English team is conducting other operations, putting pressure on Madrid to act for this player. Otherwise, they could lose him definitively, which would be a huge blow to the expectations for the next campaign. This player has established himself not only as one of the greatest young promises in soccer, but as an already established footballer. His physical and technical conditions have categorized him as one of the most interesting at his age, at just 20 years old. He has played more than 2,600 minutes in 33 matches this season, all at an outstanding level. Additionally, he has been drafted by the Spanish national team due to his excellent level, and in what he has been able to play, he showed many things. This is one of the many reasons why Real Madrid has him on their list of possible signings. However, due to the pressure from the British team, things could become much more complicated than some might expect. Additionally, some other teams that have also been in this player's orbit could pounce on him. Teams such as Arsenal and Liverpool could be the great thorn in the side for Madrid. With this position from his club, the merengue president is the one who has to decide what the future of this signing will be. Although, if they delay further, it might become a tragedy if they don't act soon. Real Madrid's growing interest in Arsenal defender William Saliba has hit a significant roadblock, with the English club reportedly demanding at least €120 million for the Frenchman. As Los Blancos look to reinforce their defensive line in the summer, Saliba has emerged as a prime target. And it is no surprise, considering his performances for the Gunners have placed him among Europe's elite centre-backs. Madrid have already made attempts in the past to secure Saliba's signature. The Spanish giants approached Arsenal last summer, but their efforts were swiftly rejected by the London-based side. Now, despite the rejection, the interest has not died down. With a contract running until 2027, Arsenal hold all the cards, and they have made their stance clear that Saliba will only be sold if a club is willing to meet their €120 million valuation. Interestingly, the push for Saliba may be coming from more than just the boardroom at Madrid. Kylian Mbappe is reportedly advocating for the transfer of his compatriot. However, even with Mbappe's influence, the fee Arsenal demand remains a huge obstacle. Arsenal, for their part, are not caught off guard. According to the report, they have already started identifying potential replacements, with Sporting CP's Ousmane Diomande topping their list. This signals that while Arsenal are prepared to hold on to Saliba, they're also aware that Madrid's pursuit is serious and unlikely to fade away without a fight. The price tag of €120 million, however, would be a record-breaking figure for a defender, and it is not yet clear whether Madrid are willing to go that far. The club's need to bolster its defense is pressing, especially with injuries and aging players affecting depth, but a nine-figure move would require full backing from Florentino Perez and his team. For now, Saliba remains an Arsenal player, but with the summer transfer window approaching, the battle for his signature could soon become one of the biggest sagas of the season. Arsenal are playing today because Real Madrid weren't up to the task, and it's Arteta's team, having passed the Bernabeu test, who are enjoying the European semi-finals. This award goes to the London team, among other reasons, for a defensive solidity that makes them a very difficult opponent to beat. and in that collective defense, a figure with a French name and surname emerges, William Saliba. The French international appears to be Real Madrid's choice to captain the Whites' defense starting next season. Madrid knows it, the player knows it, and Arsenal knows it. With things still at stake, the Champions League for the Londoners and La Liga for Real Madrid, the exchange of messages is done in a lukewarm and discreet manner, but Florentino seems willing to roll up his sleeves to bring to the Bernabeu the man who many currently consider the best center back on the market. Huijsen is also an option, of course, but Saliba has been on Juni Califat's agenda for a long time. He and Akanji, City's Swiss Army knife, who also wouldn't mind leaving Guardiola, even if he can no longer fulfill the wishes of Carlo Ancelotti, who was the one who put his name on the table. Akanji, Saliba, and McAllister, and Tonali for the central midfield, because Zubamendi doesn't seem to have been even close, since his agreement, specifically with Arsenal, is taken for granted everywhere. We told you about it here a couple of weeks ago, although others will tell you in a few days. The Premier League will be Real Madrid's breeding ground for rebuilding. The French accent will continue to coexist in the Valdebeba's dressing room. And Xabi Alonso could have the raw material that the next Brazil coach lacked to make a good basket.